Scylla's Guerrillas are able to finally get out of a slump that they've been having for so long. And it's just been a really unfortunate sight to see that they haven't been playing to the full potential that everyone knows that they can be. Hopefully tonight on this matchup will be something different, and maybe they'll finally get something going. But first ban will be coming off of Marbad. It'll be Hibana banned out. No too surprising there. Hibana is a pretty common hard breach ban on Bank, given that she's easily able to access the hatches, and leaving it up to just a Maverick and a Thermite. It's really interesting how teams are able to adapt. I know that there was at one point in time where I think it was yesterday, I saw APAC Pro League. I think it was it was Xavier Esport. It was something that Dev Marta tweeted out. It was the final round of play, and Xavier was on attack. They had a Cade playing his Electro Claws on the elevator hatch and the drop down hatch over in lobby. So with that happening, what Xavier did, they managed to have Maverick drone out where the Electroclaw was playing on, and then the Maverick would come through, blowtorch the hatch, and they were able to take off the Artilla from both the hatches and get it open with ease. So it'll be interesting to see if either of these teams manage to do that. But with that being said, Jackal, Maestro, and Mira are going to be the final 3 operators to be banned out. So a lot of roaming is expected to be happening from what I can see here, given that Jackal's off the board, and with Maestro and Mira out of play, be interesting for how the game is going to round up.
Yeah, I mean, really standard defensive bans, pretty good operators, any map, that's to be expected. But the attackers got hit pretty hard too. Losing the Hibana, losing the Jackal, it's going to make it pretty difficult to do anything with that. And look at this, Arbad, they're going staff room open area. Chris, what are your thoughts on this bomb site? Because I don't know about it. I don't know.
It's definitely a curveball. Normally you don't see teams go into open area. You'd rather see them move on through into Tellers, considering Tellers has a better win rate. Mex coming out onto the glass with the 6-pick away from the Montaigne. That's not something that Arbad, I think, is going to be prepared for this time. And Mex on glass is absolutely a treat to see.
Oh yeah, he's had some actually insane games playing in the qualifiers. Of course, both these teams we're quite familiar with. We saw them play tons of matches as you had to do to qualify for Challenger League. So these two teams, they should be pretty familiar with each other. Although, again, this isn't a map that either of them are super comfortable playing. I shouldn't say that, are super used to playing, right? It's not one of their go-tos. So in that sense, probably this isn't going to have a ton of footage and able to do VOD reviews on. But either way, these two teams should be familiar with each other, should be getting ready to get into things. And in terms of the attackers, they brought pretty much all you'd expect. With Hibana being gone, you'd expect to see the Maverick, you'd expect to see the Thermite, because you don't expect to be going to this bomb site, I'll tell you that much. You've also been able to bring your classic fragging operator in Zofia, your Glass being brought by... Oh no.
Oh no.
No,
oh,
what?
Mex, no, hello?
Mex, we were just calling you good. Oh no. Oh, it's a disaster.
That is absolutely horrendous to see. I can't believe that Carnage didn't take any kind of damage, and my one personal opinion as to why Carnage didn't take any damage is because Mex isn't using the reflex sight. I personally believe that the reflex sight compared to the red dot is a lot more accurate, and just that how huge the red dot is on that flip sight, it's just really bad.
Yeah, no, it's not something to be a fan of for many people. We'll see how they go, though. 2 minutes left to go in this round, and, well, oh, he's gonna get a second shot. He'll get it this time. It's not the same player, but Tuffy goes down, and Mex can at least rest easy knowing that he's gotten 1 kill. He's done something for his team, so good on him for that one. And it's a similar angle. You know, you're looking into the bomb site. You're able to find somebody just with a sliver of their outline being shown to you, highlighted in yellow. That's the bandit off the board. Looks like all 4 of his batteries were placed down already, so no utility, but again, just another great gun that you can take off. Beastly soon to take down this drone. He kind of lost it. I don't think he hit the shot, so that's unfortunate. The drone gets away. Not a big deal though, all things considered.
Yeah, Nug's already opening up the side hatches. It'd be interesting how it plays out considering Carnage is sitting inside of Tellers. Be Beastly taking down one of the drones, I believe, from SG. But with the last minute finally coming around the corner, I think that's going to be the Maverick from Abonite. Yes, the Abonite will be situated outside of the back alley window. With that hole in play, it'll be interesting to see if BC is going to be able to find a frag. But time ticking down, not too much action has happened despite Mex finding the frag onto Tuffy. But Temper's going to take down Carnage inside of Tellers. That spells really good news. Callie takes down Abinai. Meanwhile, BC taking a ton of damage, I think, from the hatch above from Mex. 40 seconds left to play out. Plant still needs to come down. Nugs has already dropped down to the side. Nugs takes one with him to the grave. That'll be Euphoria taking down Not Loading. Euphoria sitting inside of the B bomb site. Still has Echo Drones to play, but Temper comes up big. That'll be all up to Callie. Swings on through. Doesn't hear the vault coming in. That'll be Temper falling to Callie. Plant successfully goes down from Nugs. And Callie needs to find both Mex and Nugs. Swings on through. Pings are coming out. That'll be Mex, I believe, upstairs. But Mex has his back to him, if I'm not mistaken. No, Mex is ready for the swing around. And Callie falls, and Scylla's Guerrillas will take round number 1.
Yeah, he definitely did have his back to him. They turned around. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
How did he predict that? I think that was just crazy good timing. Or somebody, maybe they had a drone over there that was calling for it. Yes, they did, because I guess they had a drone down the hallway. Okay, that's probably what it was. So, really great team communication coming out from Scylla's Guerrillas, because Mex definitely would not have gotten that kill had he not known that Tuffy was walking up the stairway. Or Callie, I believe that was. Walking up the stairway.
I don't know if it was a drone or what, but absolutely insane precision coming out from Mex. Just 2 taps Callie down, and an absolutely great round to come out from Scylla's Guerrillas to start things off. Blackbeard are going to get traded out here, as well as the castle for a pulse. We'll see if Temper switches on out. He will on over to the IQ. The second bomb site is going to be played downstairs in the lockers and CCTV room.
So Blackbeard, probably good that he's getting swapped off, considering they're not going to the very top floor. Can be quite powerful when looking through those windows, but a little bit less effective when you're attacking on the basement. Not a bad operator when you're attacking in the basement, but I think having the IQ is going to help them out quite a bit. You're coming up against the Echo Drones, that's going to be the big thing, but also, of course, you've got the Pulse playing down in the basement. If he's playing like in Gold Vault, you probably won't be able to shoot him through any soft walls. But either way, it's nice to know that he's there, and nice to know that you're being watched, and we'll probably get a C4 chucked your direction anytime now. This is going to be a basement hold. This is much more common than the staff room open area, so I'm glad that they didn't stick with that. But yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a gamble. Didn't work out. What can you do? It's round number 1, so I think that's it's fine that Arbat are taking risks early on in the game. Better than later on, I would say.
Yeah. So, with the glass coming out from Mex, I wouldn't be too surprised if he went for a sewer push. Looks to be what he might be doing this time around, but he actually repelled on in upstairs to assist Not Loading Temper. See how things managed to go out here. Mex gonna open up the floorboards to watch the blue stairs rotate, and with an angle as tight as this, it's gonna be really bad should a defender rotate up those stairs.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive play from a defender. Sometimes you see people playing inside that staircase. It doesn't even look like they're doing that on the side of Arbat. However, I mean, Tuffy's right there. He certainly could. But running out is generally thought to be a bad idea, because that's a pretty common place for people to stop to play. Callie throws the C4 through the open hatch and lands it on a Not Loading. Woo, that's great play from him. Being able to get out of there too. It's a bit of a risky use of your C4, especially since you're playing here in the basement, where those nitro cells are going to be so impactful later on in the round. But takes the risk, pays off, was flashy nonetheless. So quite happy with that, or with how that turned out for him.
Abonai still has about 2 1/4 left of his blue blow torches to work with. I'm not exactly too sure if he's already gone to work on the other hatch, but taking open the side hatch this time around, and with Nug still on the board, he can still utilize that thermite charge on the wall. Exactly what he's going to be doing now. Minute 20 left to play. Nug's going to attempt for the plant, and that's going to be actually Euphoria all the way inside of, I think it's garage, landing a shot on Nug. So Nug's being a bit weary of his position, so we'll see how this works out for SG.
Again, they've got a lot of that utility. You see Tuffy was prepping that C4. Is in a position where you can throw it out, and right now Scylla's Guerrillas is just trying to bait it out. They're saying, please throw this nitro cell so we can get to work and actually start doing things. But you've got Callie sitting in the gold vault. This is exactly what you need to be doing. Now, Mex watching this angle could make all the difference. If they try to throw out that C4, they walk right into the scope of the glass. Well, that's not going to work very well for you. Not exactly the angle that Tuffy's playing, though. He still could get this throw out. You just need to be very, very careful. And for the attackers trying to bait out this utility, they actually haven't done a great job of it. The only C4 that got used from the defenders landed a kill. Here comes the smoke, though, and now that utility might just start come out. There's the plant and the gas canisters as well, not actually dealing any damage to Nugs. However, it is going to be the C4 that forces him off. He's going to come right back onto it, though, and of course, without that C4 from Cali, not going to have any more that they can throw out. Just running on 4. You don't challenge mechs like that. However, you can challenge Nugs. That's going to be Cali getting that kill. 3 on 4. Needs to get this disabled at the same time. Playing from down below. Mex takes quite a bit of damage before he gets that kill, but with it, the numbers will equalize and go back into their favor. Temper getting a kill onto Carnage on the staircase will make sure that that happens, but Mex again going down will equalize. 2 on 2. Albanai from the hatch. There's a lot of damage to the Echo, and he should be able to finish this off with 2. Yes, he can. Souls Guerrillas. Second round for them.
Albanai rocking the new Pro League set coming out for Maverick. A very great 2K and a very strong start. This is the SG I love and remember, and they're finally looking strong and again and back to form. So hopefully they can carry this energy throughout the rest of the match.
Yeah, that was a big play from them. Big end to that round, and especially when you have a round like that which starts off on a pretty low note. I mean, you open up the hatch, and then what happens? You eat a C4 coming up from down below, and you don't get any sort of a punish on the guy who threw it. That's a bit demoralizing for that to happen right off the bat, but I'm glad that it didn't hurt their spirits too much. They were able to come back and win that round, so they'll have another opportunity to tack down onto Locker's CCTV. They've changed their operators up a little bit. They're bringing the Sledge this time rather than the Zofia, and I think they're... Because wasn't it... who was playing the Zofia last time?
It was not loading, and he got deleted off of Cali C4.
That's what I thought. So they're all changing operators around. That's really interesting because you don't see a lot of teams doing that. It's something Vicious Gaming like to do. Just swap operators around like mid game. Mex obviously is pretty standard, just sitting on the glass, but most of them are not doing are not sticking to anything in particular. Now, did you just see that Carnage? Did he mess up when? Yes, he did. Okay, we'll ignore it.
Mess up what?
Carnage tried to put the hatch on, but he got off of it like a second too early, and it didn't apply. I thought maybe he changed his mind. No, he got it. He realized it. He came back and got it.
Okay, he got back. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, SG looking back to their prime form. It's a bit refreshing to see because it's really unfortunate when a Challenger League team makes it in and then they just have a super sloppy performance throughout the entire season. But hopefully, for the 6th playday today, they finally, realize the issues that they have. They finally woken up. So we'll see if this spells good news for them leading into this next round. But Mex on glass, on bank especially, it's absolutely dangerous to take down Mex.
You also got to imagine that there's a lot riding on this in the global Challenger League scene. I mean, should Arbad get rolled in this matchup, then Nog will look like a fool. So that's a big thing to keep into your considerations. At the moment, though, it's round number 3, and 2-0 is not that large of a deficit, especially, well, I guess you're defending on bank, but still, I mean, you did play a staff room open once, and so we'll give you that one. Maybe you weren't expected to win. You had a rough time on CCTV cash. That's okay. It's just 2 rounds, right? No matter what the situation is, 2 rounds is never going to be enough to say, oh, a team is throwing, a team is going to get rolled. No, certainly not. There's plenty more match to be played as we approach the halfway mark. Now, Albanai definitely not going to have enough in that breaching torch to open up the second hatch. It is possible, however, very, very difficult. I don't know if I've ever seen in a competitive match somebody successfully open 2 hatches with Maverick, because it's
really difficult to do, but I think it's possible.
It is possible, yes, 100%. It's just really hard, so I've never seen anybody do it. Now they're going to start with this plant, and they're going to get in here. Again, Tuffy with the C4. He didn't land anything last time, however, he did bait it out for a little bit longer, and this time that was not a good throw. Must think there's a little bit of miscommunication between him and Cali just in that moment, because we're really early on into the round. I get he didn't want an early plant to go down, but you can't be wasting C4s like that when you're defending a basement.
Hit coming out from that loading.
Oh yes, and he's gonna get a second one too. In the garage, they just keep on pushing him, and he's gonna keep on taking heads. He's gonna get damage down on a Tuffy as well. That's 2.5 kills basically that he's been able to deliver just playing by himself in garage. Finally, somebody shuts him down. It's Beastly, the Pro League veteran, will come around and find not loading in the garage. Now he's got the actual planters to deal with. Tuffy's gonna take down Temper. So again, that's going to put us back into an even score line, but this plant, it's about halfway through. And again, do they have anything to deny this? No, they do not. Albanai getting kills. Albanai getting kills. 2 for him. and it's going to be all on the Beastly. The Pro League veteran will need to pull his team up in this matchup. 3 kills and the disable. I don't know about this one. Up top is Abanai. He'll get his third. Guerrillas. Again, it seemed like the same round from 2 to 3.
Absolutely dominant performance really coming out from Scylla's Guerrillas. They're baiting out the C4s very well. They're baiting out the smoke grenades, a lot of utility, and that round was solely won because of not loading. A late push coming in through the garage, taking down Euphoria while he's on his Echo drone, and then Carnage just making a really poor decision to walk into not loading's pre-fire. I think he was expecting for not loading to stop shooting, but either way, it looked in the end that Carnage was no longer loading at the end of that gun battle, and not loading coming away with 2 big important frags and almost a third onto Tuffy, and even Beastly. I think he managed to even land 2 shots onto the body of Beastly. Unfortunately, not able to land either frag, but he'll be switching away from the Sledge to the Zofia this time around. So I wonder if that's just a strategy that SG likes to use, where they just swap out Sledge and Zofia every other round. But right now, our bad is looking really shaky, and they can't seem to find anything working. But this time they'll be moving on through into the CEO, and we'll see if we can have a different result coming out from our bad.
So when a team keeps changing up bomb sites and they keep on losing, there's a couple different things. They could either be totally fine and they're just like, all right, lost a couple of bomb sites, we're gonna try something new because we've got strats on this, and you know, we know that maybe our first strategies didn't work, but we've got a plan B, we're confident our plan B, we're not worried. It could also mean, however, that they're panicking. And I'm not saying that they're panicking. We're going to have to watch this round and find out. We're going to have to see what their setup is like. We're going to have to see how they play it. But based on how this last couple of rounds have gone, based on the fact that they started with staff open, then they did CCTV twice and lost it twice, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to just keep saying that it's not looking good. But I'm certainly not going to say that it is looking good. So, who knows? Attackers, a couple of lineups being changed out. You're bringing out the Dokebi instead of, what did they have before? They had the...
Thatcher.
Yes, they did. Thatcher off the board. Maybe you don't need it so much in this one rather than for the basement.
I think that SG is just pretty much just trying to shake things up. Mech's going to be spotted out by a Valkyrie cam. I'm not too sure if he notices that it's in the bush. If he doesn't, this could be really well for our bad. Already, banana windows will be getting blasted open from not loading. Cali on yet again a bit of an unorthodox roam considering the site's all the way upstairs, but you know, it's a really drone heavy site and a really roamer favored map. So depending how Cali plays this out, he could be rewarded with some very fruitful frags.
He needs to be careful. If he walks up these stairs, though, there is somebody you can see up top, and they have the angle. But if he just C4s it, he got seen, so he did a lot of damage to mechs. You can look him at the top of your screen. Probably sitting at about 20 HP right now, so certainly was worth it for Cali. You know, you at least got something out of it. You would have liked to get the kill, but not loading is going to get one instead, and that's onto your teammates, so that's even worse than if just nothing had happened for you. It's going to be the castle getting taken off the board. Not a big kill, of course, but still a man down regardless. You saw a little bit of a rotation coming out from the Jaeger. It's something you really need to watch out for because, as you mentioned, it's a very heavily, or a heavy roam map. So if Carnage can do something scary, then this could be big. But that was really in the lobby, so it's not a huge deal. A minute still on this clock, and the attackers, 1 kill in the pocket.
Yeah, already moving on through into the site. Nux taking a bit of damage, but 2 members from SG are going to be lit up. Nux taking some damage from Toxic Babes. Abanai finds another onto Beastly. Euphoria swings on through, takes down Temper, even out of the 3v3. Plant is going to start to go down for the defenders. Can Euphoria get on in time? No, he won't. His Yokai drone will be shut down, but Cali takes down Mex. Diffuser will get planted down, and it's all up to the dual hard breach coming out from Abanai and Nugs to shut down the 3 remaining members. But Carnage with the pre-fire takes down 2 onto Abanai and Nugs, and our bad will finally put themselves on the board, and Carnage will get that defuse off in the celebratory fashion. And finally, our bad finding themselves on the board and stopping the bleeding, putting themselves in a position for a 3-1 split.
Okay, so I want to say something good about our bad. So I'm going to say Carnage. That was really well played. You had an awesome clutch. I guess it wasn't a clutch. You had 2 teammates alive, but you still pulled out a couple of kills at the end of there. You did really well, and you should be very happy. However, You finally stopped the bleeding. That was 3 rounds in a row you lost, and you had to do it based off of a single individual performance. When you're losing and you finally stop a losing streak, it's important. You'll do it by any means necessary, but I think it's better if you can do it based off of team play and based off of strategy, because if it's just one player popping off, you can't rely on that. Carnage is not going to get that many kills every single round. It's just not going to happen. So I'm worried for them, even still, even after they stop the bleeding, not least because they're going back to staff room open, and this just works poorly last time, in my opinion. I think it's a bad bomb site, and I don't think they should be going here. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a hater, Chris, but
it could be.
I'm not excited yet.
Yeah, I mean, this bomb site, it's a bit unorthodox. You'd normally see teams favoring either downstairs in the basement, or you see them go tellers, or upstairs in CEO. Open area is a site that's not too favored for defenders. But if a team, of course, I mean, it's the same for every bomb site. If a team's put in the work, if they've worked out the kinks that they need to do, then they're able to successfully defend that bomb site. But, you know, you were right. The last time they were here, our bad was not able to find themselves in a winning position, and SG just pretty much walked all over them. And the last frag that we had was a swift flick coming out from Mex above, over by Stocks, as Callie was rotating up the skylight stairs.
Another attack will be commenced by Scill's Guerrillas. They'll start to make their way forward. And again, they pretty much dominated when they were attacking on staff from open. Mex playing the same position he was playing before. Worried about somebody in lobby, but that's not going to be a real threat. The castle barricades are a little bit different from before, so they need to be able to watch out for that one. Again, you're still making the holes to watch for people in the basement rotating up, but doesn't look like there's any defenders down there, so Beck's basically just wasting time. But it's nice to have those precautions. You can feel a little bit safer if somebody is watching that. Mostly, though, his job is to be looking at the bomb site, and he can do that very, very well from where he's situated. 2 minutes left to go in this round, and we're starting to see some stuff get opened on up. And actually, look at this. Callie from down below. This is a really interesting way to play this bomb site.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, Callie does some pretty weird roams, but more often than not, they normally work. And just because Callie has so much unpredictability, it's really working in favor for our bad. But the sledge coming out from not loading will open up the castle barricade, and because of the yokai drone, wow, not loading, expecting it. Gonna take down Callie, a huge frag coming down off the board. That's the Valkyrie dead, a C4 gone, and I think that's 1 out of 2 C4s, considering Tuffy normally runs a C4 on Bandit as well.
Not loading's got to be the smartest player I've ever seen. He was crouching back and behind the staircase, and he had the drone set up so that it would be a distraction. Now, he's also going to get a headshot on a Beastly, so he's continuing to impress me. He's going to get that one. His teammate finds another one as well onto the smoke, onto the echo. So this is just going better and better. 5-on-2 now. They need to be able to shut something down, but Mex says no sir, not today, and Temper gets the last one. Scill's Guerrillas take round number 5. I told you so, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned before, if a team's worked out the kinks, really good adaptation coming out from Temper, by the way. But if a team's worked out the kinks, I honestly think that Scylla's Guerrillas are just really feeling themselves, and they're able to utilize and see the weaknesses that are coming out from our bad, and they're capitalizing on them so fast that it's not allowing our bad the time to rotate around and try to formulate an adaptive defense in order to try to stop the push that's coming out from Scylla's Guerrillas.
Our last bomb site is going to be CCTV lockers. And it's unfortunate that they won their only defense on Executive CEO in round number 4, because that means they cannot defend on that bomb site again. Should they have swapped to it a little bit earlier, like let's say in round 3, they could be playing it again now. But if they'd played it in round 3, maybe they wouldn't have won it. Who knows? It's all speculative, but they're gonna have to try their 3rd shot at the basement. They've lost it twice so far, and I'd like to see them do a little bit better in terms of saving their utility. Both times we saw the Valkyrie, I believe Tuffy both times, holding onto that C4, maybe not quite long enough. The second time in particular launched it really early. It was something like a minute 10 on the clock, and nobody was anywhere near planting. So I'd like to see a little bit better usage of that utility, of that plant denial in particular. They do, of course, have the yokai drones here, and they've got the pulse, so they should have all the information they need. They've even got the Valkyrie, so like the info shouldn't be the issue. It should just be making sure you're coordinated well enough and making sure you've got that execute.
Yeah. So this will be the final round that we see our bad on defense. And with the way the momentum's been going, I wouldn't be too surprised for Scylla's Guerrillas to be up 5-1 at the end of the split. But our bad has proven themselves before to pretty much come back if they need to. And we've seen them time and time again. Well, not time and time again. It's only been, what, 4 or 5 play days?
5,
this is the
yeah.
6th one. Yeah. So, we really haven't seen too much from our bad, although they were able to tie against the Sonics last week. And then this past matchup, they got another tie against Disrupt. So I wouldn't count our bad out, like as Holiday Nog mentioned before in the interview. But so far, you know, it's been really tough. It's kind of tough to say if they're going to be able to come back just based off of the momentum that's been coming out from Scylla's Guerrillas.
Things have been tough for Tuffy, as he's not had the greatest game so far. The rest of his team can't say too much better, though. They're going to be trying to stop this push from coming in once again. You don't have any roamers or anything. That's pretty standard for this bomb site. You do have Carnage, who could go for some sort of a late game flank, but it hasn't happened yet, and I wouldn't expect it in particular. Nuggets is going to be opening up the second wall. He didn't get blown up by a C4 when he opened up the hatch like the first time, so that's nice of him. There's still a couple of C4s being utilized from the defenders. At least I believe the Pulse still has his C4 unless he threw it when I wasn't quite watching. So in either case, they've got a lot of utility. Yes, he does. Thank you, Observer. Thank you, Handsome. Minute 20 to go, though, and, well, only a matter of time before this push comes in.
Yeah, Nade coming out from not loading, dealing a small bit of damage onto Beastly. Flash is coming out, trying to burn some ADSs. Flash is also coming out to try to blind anyone playing inside of red, but the gas grenades coming out from Mex will provide him a lot of visibility to come through, and should Mex have the quick trigger finger, find a lot of some pretty good frags to come out on the end of that Dragunov.
45 seconds, and this is going to be the execute coming in. It's going to be all about how they can bait out this utility. Starting the plant, and looks like there's the C4, and it will take down the planter. Tuffy. Great throw this time. Third time's the charm, it seems. Nugs goes down, and it'll be Temper's turn up to bat. But Mex has gotten himself a nice little angle here. Might not matter so much. His not loading has just died to Carnage, though, so they continue to be at a numbers disadvantage. And Euphoria from the garage finds the glass. That's a really huge pick. That's a lot of pressure being relieved, and another player down. It's all on to Temper. Needs the ace. Clutch 15 seconds, and not a chance. Our bad. Thankfully, get another round on the board. It's 4-2.
I think this round really boosts a lot of confidence moving on in.
Yes.
And hindsighted body, unfortunately, we aren't able to see the glorious frag that happened due to the Maverick's body. But, you know, that round definitely gives our bad a lot of confidence moving into their next half. And on attack, I think our bad shines a lot, especially what we saw against Disrupt. Their defense were pretty weak, but their attacks are really well coordinated. So it'll be interesting to see how Scylla's Guerrillas managed to fight back on the defensive side of things. Mex coming out on Doc. It's going to be a pretty interesting round, to say the least.
And we were talking a little bit about how these bans shape out, and it does seem to be pretty difficult for the attackers. So the fact that we're not on coastline, so you would consider this to be a more defensive side map. I mean, all that taken into consideration, things might not be too bad for our bad. Still can't respect going to staff open twice. I think that was a mistake. But all in all, I mean, the scoreline 4-2, with the circumstances the way they are, shaky, I guess, because they're now going on to attack, aren't they? Yeah, this is it's not going to be looking too nice for them. We'll see, though. Look at the scoreboard. 6 kills from Albanai. This is a player that we often say can pop off. 6 from Mex and 5 from not loading. Yes, so those are the 3 players I always like to highlight on Scylla's Guerrillas. Those are the guys you expect to be stepping up. Temper as well with 4, not too bad. And no, just plain support. I mean, ultimately, if your team's up 4-2 and you only have 1 kill, that's fine. You don't need to be getting kills, clearly, for your team to be doing well. And I mean, the stats on our bad weren't too bad. I didn't see anybody who was super terrible, at least in comparison to the rest of them. There's not like one guy who's carrying the whole team and can't even do it. It seems like they're pretty much just coordinated amongst themselves. They're going to be coming into attack, finally, though, onto CCTV.
Yeah. With the Cade coming out, or Kayed, I'm sorry, with the Kayed coming out, this is a pretty great bomb site to utilize his power. Mostly just because of his Artillas that they're so strong, and because, I mean, granted you still have a Thatcher and a Maverick, but just the way that the Artillas work, it's really tough to work out. But actually, that's pretty interesting. You don't see a whole lot having the open area hatch open. Pretty interesting.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see how that works out for them. Bringing the Kaid makes most of those hatches really difficult to open up. Callie being on the Thatcher means it's not going to be as big of an issue. But, yeah, we'll see. That's a really interesting strategy. Carnage is going to be able to find one of those Valk cams. Nice that he was able to pick that off before it caused too much of a problem. A little bit of utility off the board, but there's a lot of time going down, and these attackers notably aren't that close to the bomb site. I mean, you're still in lobby, you're still around tellers, and you're challenging people on the staircase. It looks like those defenders are playing it pretty aggressively, but still, I would like to see them maybe have gotten a little bit more ground. You're right, though. I mean, they are playing defenders in the open area. It's a much more aggressive style of play than we usually see for this bomb site.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if Callie had actually 6-pick, but he switched away from the Blackbeard over to the Thatcher. But Temper going to get the first frag onto Tuffy. Really big frag because that's the nades off the board. But Callie going to trade out Abunai. Callie at 50 HP. Carnage going to take down Temper. It's all up to not loading upstairs. I think he's still above side of the office. I'm not too sure that is, but yes, that's going to be not loading, being taken down from Carnage inside of office. And with 50 seconds left to go, it's all up to Nugs and Mex. This is going to be playing out now, considering that Mex cannot stop the wall from being popped open, but with no smokes on the board. It's also interesting to see how it's going to be played out from our bad.
30 seconds and 2 defenders, but this is a pretty nice bomb site for defenders, so they just need to be able to stop the plant.
Wow.
That's not going to help you, though. Man, Beastly hitting a shot like that, that's pretty incredible, especially up against an opponent like Mex, who's been so good this game. And Callie will end round number 7 with a click of a button. Our bad, clearly still in it.
I think Callie was probably wanting to go for the knife there. He saw him get off of his drone. But either way, our bad finds themselves winning 3 rounds in a row, if I'm not mistaken. Finally stopping the bleeding. They're 1 round away from tying things up. And this is absolutely a really good game so far, considering how dominant SG looked on their attacks.
Okay, Chris, what is this? Why is everybody going staff open area? Did this get good overnight? Is this like a new meta? Am I missing something here? Because staff open area is a bomb site I pretty much never see. And I think for good reason. We've seen twice today just it not work. And we're still as Guerrillas watching that and being like, oh yeah, I think we want that to happen to us. Like, was that their plan? Is this just an adaptation in the wrong direction?
Like I said before, you know, if a team's managed to work out a bomb site and manage it to work for them, it can be pretty decent. But so far as we've seen from our bad's perspective, when they went here, they lost every single time that they went here, and in a really bad showing too. But SG on defense, they had a pretty strong showing, so I'm pretty sure they have a lot of confidence moving on into this round by being up 4-3, considering that they had a 4-1 lead, 4-2 lead. I'm sorry. Depending how SG plays out, see how it goes.
Yeah, and I think Mex being on the Vigil is really interesting here. Was he going for a spawn peek right at the start? Looking outside towards the north side of things. He might have been. He didn't find anybody if he was going for that. But regardless, it's an interesting operator. We don't see it all that often these days. But I think it's a good fit for this bomb set at the very least. I don't know if it's going to be better than just playing regular operators on regular bomb sites, but if you're going to be playing Vigil and you're going to be playing on this bomb site, I think they kind of go hand in hand. You kind of have to play a little bit more aggressively just because your bomb site, you can't really hunker in as you can on some of the other sites. And Mex is playing it crazy good because he's Mex and he hits those shots and he just knows where you're going to be at all points in time. So an easy headshot onto Callie will eliminate the Thatcher.
I honestly think that's just really good positioning and awareness coming out from Mex. Really poor droning coming out from our bad, and it pays for Mex and Scylla's Guerrillas. A minute off the board, and Mex still has control up top. Tuffy not wanting to get too aggressive just yet, trying to find out exactly where Max will be playing, but Beastie's going to be taken down, not loading. I think it might have been from the skylight. That'll be the castle falling victim to the grave.
4 on 4, minute 45 as we continue on with this round. You can see a lot of pressure being put onto Mex now that he's claimed one of his victims. They are very much aware of where he's at, and they want to be able to get him out of the CEO office. But you can see on your HUD, there is a yokai drone that is trying to scout out for him. And there's Carnage down below who's getting kills on players that are focusing on him too. So, I mean, well, he's just going to go down. So, Temper Falling's not going to help out Mex. That's, of course, going to be the Legion off of the board. And still more pressure being put towards the Vigil.
Oh, Mex with those swift headshot onto Tuffy. Euphoria is there for the trade, but despite that, 2 minutes off the board. It's all up to the support players being Nugs and Abinai, and I've mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again. Give Abinai a machine pistol, and he'll absolutely gun anyone who crosses his path, at least if he can see them. If he can't see them, then it's going to be all for naught. But Abinai rotating away from Archives now over into the office. 40 seconds left to play. The attackers need to start making the push. Carnage is going to take a goo mine into the leg. I think it might have been from Skylight. On here, Nugs holding a soft angle inside of open area. 30 seconds left to play. Still has Yokai drones to move on through. Takes down one. Will be Carnage. Can he find a second onto Euphoria? That'll be the question on. But Euphoria swings on through. Takes down Nugs. It's all up to Abinai. Finds the diffuser inside of office. Euphoria needs to find the last frag, but Abinai making a swift rotation from the office over to cafeteria. Cali's not looking at him. Actually, the Euphoria moving on through. Abinai makes a swift progression. Cali grabs a diffuser. Euphoria needs to make a move on through, rotating on in offices. Plant's going to start to go down, and Abinai's going to play this out very well. Oh no! Abinai's going to whiff! But he finally manages to snag the frag onto Euphoria. And SG will finally get something going for themselves yet again and move on up 5-3.
Just have to control that recoil. Eventually, he got there. It's not the end of the world. No, great play by SG. They put themselves 1 round away from match point, and it's not a bad spot to beat at all. Still have, I guess that was successful staff room defense, wasn't it? All right, they've done it. I guess it was just our bad who weren't. You didn't have the keys to success on it.
Yeah, practically. I mean, it came down to a 1v1. Let's be fair.
It did.
It came down to a 1v1 and timing and everything. Yeah, Mex really did pop off, finding 2 insane frags. Absolutely beautiful. But, you know, our bad managed to make it almost a comeback. They got down to the bomb site, made it a 1v2, but unfortunately, Beastly fell victim to Abinai's SMG-11 inside of office, rotating in from from Archives, I'm sorry. And unfortunately, Euphoria did not have enough time to hunt him down. Abinai making the smart rotation, rotating away from cafeteria on it through into open area, playing the time, hearing the defuse get planted. A very great round coming out from SG. And they're only 2 rounds away from finally getting their first win on the board.
That's true. We didn't talk about it in the pregame, but both of these teams... Or yes, no. We just saw... No, because our bad beat Disrupt. Yeah, okay. So SG is still looking for the win, the only winless team. I was going to say, I'd written down in my notes that both these teams were the last 2 winless teams because I just assumed that our bad would lose to Disrupt. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I should take Nog's advice and stop underestimating this team. They've been playing all right. They've started to come back. They still, I don't love all of their decision-making in terms of bomb sites, but that's in the past. We'll let it go. Certainly, since swapping over to attack, they've looked a little bit better. They're 1 for 1, and I think in both rounds they were looking pretty good. They could have taken that last round certainly and been 2-0 since the half swap. So we'll see them now have another chance to attack, and of course, if they want to win this game, they cannot give up any more attacking rounds. They need to win 9, 10, 11, and 12, 4 in a row, and up against a team like SG, not going to be the easiest thing in the world. What do you think about this Cade play, sitting inside of servers?
I think it's pretty good, considering that Mex will be waiting for some audio cues, but EMP is going to come on out, taking down some ADSs that were being played over by Blue Stairs. It's actually going to be Temper playing on those stairs as well, so we'll see just exactly how he plays this out. That'll be poor timing coming out from Mex.
Wow. Oh my god, look at this.
He'll get the the thermite charge.
Did he get
This is
it?
going to be, yeah, he got it.
Okay,
Barely at the
okay.
right time. Very great
Holy,
coordination. So Beastly having no more thermite charges to work with. This is a really bad situation for our bat, and they only have half the round to work with. Tuffy tossing a nade down blue, but Temper has rotated away safely. So SG in a really prime position to win out this round.
That's huge from Mex, and then he's gonna get a 2K. They line right up. They're like ducks, and they're gonna both go down. Tuffy and Euphoria, man, that is not good. Callie's gonna get one of them not loading at the end. Albanai's gonna find another one though, but man, Mex, first of all, denying that thermite, and then getting a 2K. Is he about to get a third? Surely not. Playing around at the side in those server stairs, this could be real bad if you're trying to challenge Mex in a situation like this.
I just hear the shotgun blast happening. I just think Mex is just toying with them. This is, I actually can't believe that Tuffy and Euphoria, was it Tuffy and Euphoria? Or was it Tuffy and Callie? Either way, Mex found two very easy frags at mid-range just because of how powerful that shotgun is. It's a glorified Boschi. It can be spam shotted. It has an ACOG. It's so powerful. I don't understand how it hasn't been nerfed just yet. But Carnage is gonna land the frag onto Nugs, despite Nugs having the info onto Carnage. 20 seconds left to play, and Carnage is gonna be making a move now through Garage. But this is looking all over right now for our bad. SG's looking primed to take match point. Gas Grenade is gonna be coming out. Carnage is gonna be pushing on through. A very swift frag from Abinai and Temper, and Scylla's Guerrillas will move on up 6-3 and are very close and one round away from finding their first victory.
Yeah, Bosch Echo plays aside. That was a really good round for Scylla's Guerrillas. I mean, you gotta put it all on Mex, don't you? I mean, first of all, like, it's not flashy or anything like that. And if you're a new reviewer, you might not have realized what happened. But being able to time that Electro Claw to take down the thermite charge at the same time, like, there was a Thatcher at the same time trying to destroy your Electro Claws. Like, it's crazy how back and forth that mind game is in trying to trick your opponent to put down that thing, and then let me put up my thing, and my thing's got to charge, and then your thing needs to go off. It's crazy how much goes into that, and it's really hard for the Kaid to be able to win that. And then he just gets a 2K afterwards, because of course he does. Oof, that was a great play by Mex. Puts his team on a match point. They're now going to get to attack up onto Executive CEO, this bomb site. Yeah, not played at all so far by Scylla's Guerrillas. Yeah, sorry, they get to defend on this bomb site because they've won 2 in a row on staff and now CCTV. Maybe not their most favorite bomb site considering it took so long to get here, but either way, they should be feeling pretty good about where they're at.
Yeah, if we can just take a quick look at the scoreboard, Handsome. I just really want to see how things have been stacking up so far. Wow, Mex and Abinai carrying so far with 10 frags to their name. Temper with 6 and not loading with 5. Mex having the best survivability rate in the entire, out of the entire 10 players with only 4 deaths. As for our bad side right now, it's only been, you know, Callie, Carnage, and Euphoria, as well as Beastly trying to do stuff. But Tuffy, despite being on the fragger rolls, really hasn't woken up. It's really disheartening to see that, but maybe he can wake up this round and try to put our bad into a better position. Otherwise, our bad is going to lose yet another game after this round. Should they lose it, of course.
Yes, of course. Still 3 rounds where they can try to bring it back. But I think that's a really big point. Like, Tuffy, sometimes we talk about, oh, he doesn't have a lot of frags, but he's playing support, that's fine. Tuffy's not playing support, right? He's on Sledge right now. And, I mean, I talked about it when they were on defense and he was playing the Valkyrie, and I just think he wasn't utilizing his utility very well. And once he did, like, one time where he actually got a kill with a C4, like, they won that round. I mean, our bad, when they have all 5 members participating and really showing up, they seem to be looking like a pretty formidable team. But it just hasn't been like that every single round, and so we're coming into match point, potentially the last round of the match, the last round of the night. Scylla's Guerrillas certainly hope so. They've got all of their operators ready to play this match. Mech's still playing on the Kaid. Of course, can't trick on any hatches for this bomb site, but clearly an operator that he's comfortable on.
Still trick on the skylight walls, but half the round left to play, and yet again we've seen time and time again Mex making these holes. It's really crazy how powerful those holes can be, because if you're not playing an operative like Glass or you don't drone it out, those holes can absolutely huge deterrents to your attacks. But Cali, they take the first frag onto Temper. The Jaeger has been slain. He'll be eliminated off the board. A minute 10 left to play out. Cali on the main stairway now, pushing on through, and I think that's going to be the Valkyrie from not loading prone inside of CEO, with Nugs rotating on out of those Echo drones. Last minute to play out. We'll see how things move on up. I think it's going to be Beastly moving on up to Banana.
Yeah, that's tough. He throws at the C4, doesn't land, and then firing a couple of shots off farther, doesn't get anything, is not loading. Ooh, a nice grenade. Okay, Tuffy. This is what I'm saying. This is the voodoo that I was talking about, Chris. Once we start talking bad about a player, they turn it on. There's a kill from Tuffy. That's a nice grenade throw by him. Oh, of course, only can do that on the two soft-reaching operators. And Finka, should you bring a Finka. So it's great that he's playing these operators despite the fact that he's down, and Euphoria coming on top of Nug. Oh my god, all the kills at once. Our bad. Cali with two headshots on a Nugs. I want to see how this one goes. He peeks forward. They just line up. That's crazy.
Yeah, finally our bad waking up a little bit, but they're still with their backs against the wall. Do or die. SG looking really primed to take that last round. I think the difference maker would have been if Mex found the frag onto Euphoria. He would have been able to assist his teammates coming out from Cali on those main stairs, but unfortunately that did not happen, and our bad take their 4th round of the match. They still need to win 2 more to secure that tie, and for the time being, SG just needs 1 more round. They'll go back into staff and open room. The last time we were here came down to a 1v1 between Euphoria and Abonai, where Abonai played the clock perfectly to give SG the round.
Okay. I have been somewhat negative on this bomb site, but I get it for this one, because you are locked out of CCTV. You clearly don't like executive. I guess you just don't like playing in tellers. So, fine. You're going to go staff room open area. Let's see how it works out for you. I don't think you're going to
go to the site that Corn Pop absolutely despises, but it worked for SG.
It's barely, and that's not, you can't consistently just assume, wow, it goes down to 1v1, we win it. No, you don't consistently win 1v1s. That's the whole point of a 1v1. It can go either way, and so
50-50 chance.
Somewhat. Anyways,
at least
I think
if you're looking at each other, it's a 50-50 chance.
Sure, assuming you're both like equal skills. We'll call it 50-50. I'll give you that. Honestly, if we're looking at the last 2 rounds, though, what's this going to be? It's going to be staff room open area. Let's just assume this goes in favor of the attackers, for sake of argument. But then after that, CCTV opens up again. So, our bad, even if they win this one, they're going to have to attack on a bomb site, which they have been looking not great on attack or defense. So, worrying, but maybe the momentum can carry them through should it get to that point. We're not there yet, though. We're still on this bomb site.
Yeah, and the last time Max was playing up here, and I'm pretty sure if our bad realizes what's happening, they'll know to try to hunt down Mex early on, but Mex getting really aggressive on these windows. It'll be Cali on Repel. Ori and Tuffy will be trying to be situating themselves. Tuffy's going to go ahead and open on up. Mex very close by inside of CEO. Avonite assisting from open area over by stock, so it'll force Mex to rotate on out of CEO. But he could be pushing outside of the hall, but Tuffy waiting, and Mex will make a smart rotate on down to the tellers and play alongside Nugs and Temper.
So he's not going to get the crazy 2k that he got the last time they were on this bomb site. Already not going as good as it was in the previous time they defended this open area. Not a loss, though, of course. Mech's still alive, and very possible he will come back and get that 2k. The late flank might even be more powerful than just staying up there, because you might be a little bit less expected should you do that late round rotation. We can hear these hatches starting to get opened up, and it makes life a little bit more difficult for Abonai, who's going to have to retreat into the printer room. Shotgun in hand, wanting to make a couple more rotation holes. Says, I kind of want to be over by the B-bomb site. Maybe I'll kind of move my way over into this little area. You don't want to open that up necessarily for the attackers, but Temper's starting to take a couple of bullets. He will survive, though, as he backs off towards his teammate. Realize he's a little bit out of position. I don't know where those were coming from exactly. It might have been from
I think it came from Euphoria.
Euphoria? Okay. So wherever it was, he's going to back off and no longer be in a position to die. However, Tuffy's found somebody. Can he play through these bars? He will be able to get it down. At the same time, Euphoria is going to take down another one, though. And Tuffy with the pistol finishes off Max. That's 2 players down on the side of SG. And this hold on to staff room open area not going great so far. Temper, what was that flick? Tuffy's going to go down from up above. And Temper makes it look easy with that one. Cali not making it so for the rest of his team, though. One more stands by his side. It's going to be Nugs who's getting the kills. Carnage will go down below. Cali will find a kill. 1 versus 3. You need to be a 4K for Temper should he want to win the match for his team. They got to rotate back and they got to deny this plant. It might be enough, though. There's only 10 seconds. If you can deny this, no, you cannot. Not with Euphoria watching from up above. Arbad make it a close game, 6-5.
Very great coordination and really good discipline from Euphoria up above, utilizing the hat because Cali's cutting off the rotate inside a cafeteria. Temper really has no good position to rotate. I think there was a rotation, if I'm not mistaken, on the other side of Tellers that he could have used, which nobody was watching because Euphoria is watching over into office, but I think Temper was thinking that Euphoria was watching that part of the hallway. Fortunately, to his demise, Euphoria is watching the closet office. And Arbad are able to finally put themselves for 5 up on the board. It's going to be do or die for both of these teams. Win or go home with a win, tie, or loss on, well, win or tie on SG side and a tie or loss on Arbad side. So he looked really primed to take it on a 6-3 lead. So far, the past 2 rounds, they've looked kind of sloppy. It'll be interesting to see how this last round plays out.
I will say that this is the bomb site they've looked the best on. So, I mean, if your secondary bomb site is staff room open area, I mean, you're already sort of setting yourself up to be reliant on 1 bomb sites. Their 3rd bomb site is CEO. You didn't seem to like that one too much. You played it once when you had to, and you haven't gone back at all since then. So I think probably for this team, they just lost the last couple of rounds, not really comfortable with the bomb site. As we talked about, 50-50 split when you're trying to defend on staff room open area. Maybe that just they lost the coin flip that time. If you don't win those early gunfights, it can be really difficult to win on it. But now they're here in the basement, and this is a different story. We saw there was a lot of trouble coming out in use of utility from Arbad when they were here. But man, Nex in particular has been king of his utility. If he can do the same trick that he did in the first round, or the first time they defended on this bomb site, I think it's theirs. I think they won it.
Yeah, I would say this is a stupid position for Mex to be playing, but
I agree with that.
He has the DMR shotgun of death, and at that range, no matter where you get shot, I'm pretty sure you're gonna fall victim to the grave. So
okay,
we'll see how this plays out, and if he can artilla trick the hatch that's directly above him. So first minute is gonna be drawing to a close in the next 15 seconds. See where the attack is going to be coming from. I think the last time that they attacked this, they came in from open area and the blue stairs. So see where Mex is going to be timing this, and I think if he goes right now, probably find Beastly.
All right, here they come. We're going to see it from the attacker's point of view now. Looks like the Electric Claw did get off, and oh yeah, this time they're not messing around. All of those EMP grenades, just making sure, no sir, Mex, you're not pulling another one on us like this. So, very well executed by Cali, just playing it safe, saying, nope, you're not getting this down. Greatly played. Still though, it's not the end of it. I mean, there's still a lot of utility that can be thrown out. How many C4s you got? I guess you've got not loading, right? You've got the gas canisters as well. So there's a lot of throwables on the defensive side. And of course, you've got the Echo as well. So plant denial shouldn't be a problem. But it's very prevalent in this bomb site. So it's going to be important, again, that the attackers can bait that out.
A very interesting Valkyrie camera, and surprisingly hasn't been spotted out by Euphoria. This is giving a lot of intel to the defenders with Abonai giving that call. But Euphoria takes down Abonai. Hello?
That shouldn't happen.
That's really bad. And a lot of plants now off the board, and surprisingly enough, plant's going to come down. I don't know if SG is aware, but Beastal will be trying to bait out some utility coming on through. Mex rotating away from the shotgun over to the pistol now. Not
Oh,
loading, taking
that's
some
a
damage.
big
Not
one,
loading takes down Beastly. That's the diffuser, but our bad will continuously pick it back up. That's Tuffy with the diffuser in hand. 30 seconds left to play out. Euphoria barely managed to get rid of the Yokai drone. I don't know if exactly if Nugs has anything left in his pocket, but Tuffy will start to defuse.
Yeah, will he be able to get this down? Mex thinks he has the angle, and he should. His teammates walking around it, but that's going to be okay. Just watching all of the angles that he needs to, and not loading is there as well with the Spaz 12 in hand. Able to get one kill before he eventually got traded out. It's a 3-on-2. 8 seconds, but they'll get the diffuser down. Now Mex going to pick up a kill on a Euphoria. One player, Carnage from up above, just needs to protect this to be able to get his team the tie and keep them alive. Here we go. Nugs is going to start to work his way upstairs. A lot to worry about. There's a Claymore. A lot of utility being placed down there on the staircase. Carnage ready for the push, but they're collapsing from both sides, and Temper will win the gunfight. They just got to get downstairs and get the disable. They should have time. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. GG's coming out from all the players and our producer. Scylla's Guerrillas take it 7-5, and what a close game that turned out to be.
Absolutely outstanding play coming out from SG. Normally you would have somebody either bait the defuse out and try to go for a flank, but SG playing that super smart, super creatively, utilizing the numbers advantage to pinch out Carnage, and you just had the Jaeger coming out. I think that was Temper moving on in from the blue stairs, rotating on through. An absolutely great pinch to come out from Nugs and Abinai. Mex, the MVP of that game, 12 frags to his name with 3 assists. Abinai with 10. Absolutely outstanding performance to come out.